Hey guys, it's Vio here. So, lately I've been really interested in the Anvil Liberator, and it all started when there were some quantum fuel nerfs on some ships. Like, you might notice that your medium fighters, Hornet Sabers, went from like 1M quantum fuel to like zero point 0.7, which is a pretty drastic change, losing 30% of their quantum fuel. And there were some other changes, like the Starlancer series went from 8M to 3M, and the Connies actually went up from 3 to 3.5. Anyways, I couldn't find the numbers here, but it would be great if we could get a Q&A around the QT fuel changes. I agree with that. But anyways, I'm going to be talking about some potential fleet builds with the Liberator, the ship specs in general, and we're going to cover the 3 to 4 year old Anvil Liberator Q&A. So, first of all, I started theory crafting on some potential little Liberator fleets, which I think are kind of cool. I don't think I'm going to have enough friends online for like a Kraken myself, and that'll be a lot to man. And I've gone back into the medium fighters lately after melting my Vanguard heavy fighter. Maybe the Guardian will be cool. Maybe the Guardian will fit on this. I don't know. We gotta see. But in the meantime, I was thinking, how am I gonna get my Saber around? And kind of ended up settling on the ship. You can store cargo, ships. You could get paid to transport. It's durable. It can go far. One big issue is the firepower is low. It has 2 PDCs, size 2s on top, 2 size 2s on the bottom, and this 2 size 5 turret as well. What I like about this ship is that it is a 1 to 2 person crew. Now, maybe you'll need more with engineering, and we will talk about that later, how where the components are in this ship could be a problem because they're grouped up together. However, they might be deep enough within the ship that it's not going to get hit by a missile splash AoE of damage, but maybe ballistics will tit through. Okay, anyways, this is fleet number 1. I call this one the pirate fleet. You got your interdictor, you got 2 medium fighters, pretty snazzy. You could carry cargo and ground vehicles inside. If you're not going to do ground vehicles, you could just carry cargo. Now, I would say a competitor for this ship is gonna be the Drake Ironclad, which will store a heck of a lot more cargo. It will have a lot more guns, probably be just as durable. They're both vulnerable in their engine area, but this can transport, so you could help your friends move their vehicles around. Plus, you can maybe get paid to move people's vehicles around, because eventually we're going to have many systems. Saber and a Hornet aren't going to be able to jump through all these, so if they don't have a Polaris buddy, a Crucible buddy, or a Liberator buddy bringing them around, they might pay you to do that. However, that could open you up to getting pirated. You never know. Maybe do a background check on people you're letting onto your ship. So that is the pirate fleet. Now we're going to go over a little bit, and this is what I'm thinking for a salvage and repair fleet. Now you could just focus on salvage. You could throw a Drake Vulture on there, most likely if they let us go on both pads, or there have been speculations of the Misk Fortune, whatever it is, which will be similar to this Prospector, I believe, and you're going to be able to salvage with that, bring back components. You could store all that down below, and then your Vulcan could go out, if it fits and sits, hopefully, and it could go repair someone who's right nearby who needs it, fly back, restock, because one of my issues with the Vulcan is that it has low storage capacity. So having a mothership like a Liberator lets you store all that, so this can just keep on going out and repairing, refueling, rearming. That's the thought process with this. I think that'll be a great way to help friends and to make some money, but time will tell. So for those people who, oh no, for those people who like medical, this is a potential medical fleet. You could have Pisces inside, Ursa Medivacs inside or on top, and I believe the Terrapin will fit. It looks like it. So that's pretty cool. You could get tier 3s, tier 2s, which is pretty cool. You're going to see in some of these fleets, if the Liberator is off on the fringes of the fight, it could have these medical ships on top or inside, and you could have snub fighters or craft leaving, fighting, dying, respawning on the Liberator, and going back out to the fight. So that is an interesting thought. Now keep in mind, this is all speculation. This could all change. So this kind of ridiculous, but this would be the Fury Armada. You don't need this Mantis. Maybe you want it to interdict, but maybe you could keep one ship on here rezzing, have the crew of a Kraken if you're a big org, just flying out Furies like crazy, dying, taking out enemies, respawning, and just overwhelm your enemies above Jumptown with Fury swarms. Now that's pretty cool. However, that's going to take a lot of people, so you might be better off just flying other ships. We will see. On to the next one. So this one cracked me. I was thinking about this last night. So why send a ton of people on another ship to man turrets if you could just use this MP UV tractor, put a ton of ground vehicles on top of this that are covered by this bad boy's 2 large shields that are just firing out. Now, given they could only fire straight to the back and above, it's going to be hard for them to shoot over on the sides here, and they cannot shoot down. However, if you have something above you and all this firepower is concentrated, that would be crazy. You could go full Centurions, all these quad size 4s just blasting your target, along with the 2 size 5s right here, and the PDCs just pew 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 pew, boom, destroyed. Or you could load it up with ballistas and just be a giant missile boat, which I think sounds crazy. Or heck, maybe you throw Nova tanks on there. You're fighting the Idris for the Save Stanton event, and you're just like broadsiding, but from the top. You're top-siding it, which I think would be such an experience. But again, something as silly as this would be a rare occasion if you get enough people together, kind of like the Fury Armada. I think most people are just going to put like a couple light fighters or medium. Now this, a big question mark on this one, will they let us fit ships that can land on both pads? Can they grav down? You know, so instead of taking 2 ships, you're taking one bigger one. If that's the case, you could probably take a Freelancer, a Cuddy Black, maybe 2. I don't even know if the engines are going to fit with the Cuddies, but wouldn't that be cool if you could fit those? I don't know. Time will tell. So those are my little ship fleet speculation things. So what I'm curious is if anyone else thinks of any other fleets, please comment down below. Let me know, because I'm sure I missed some ideas here. This was just me last night at like 2 a.m. Couldn't sleep, brainstorming, speculating about this ship that I am excited for. Hopefully we get it for Pyro, or a little bit into Pyro. Although it raises a lot of questions. If someone lands on your ship and they get off, maybe you're AFK, you're going to the bathroom for a few minutes, so is your buddy. Can they just FPS the doors open, get inside, instead of like while you're up in the air? I don't know. We will see. So, on to the next one. This is the beautiful Liberator pledge page. It's in concept, of course. Things can change. Let's go through these beautiful photos. Dude, I love the engines on this. That Nova tank rolling up. Pretty cool. This is it landed in the combat zone. Now, I watched some videos on it, and I heard a lot of people saying, oh, it'll never land in a combat zone. Like, it's not built for that. It doesn't have the firepower. Well, I'm going to land it in a combat zone. It doesn't have the firepower, but they said that this was medium to heavy armored. I think it's going to take it. So it also has drop seats, so you could run some players up. Anyways, look at the freaking Hornet up there, the ground vehicles. Here's a little MPUV tractor, which I've never used, but maybe it would be good for this ship. Because another question is, you're getting hit from the top. This Hornet blows up. This Hornet tanked for you. Your shields are down. The Hornet tanked. And now you're getting hit. With this Hornet destroyed there, will the ship tractor beam, which they said is located here or here, be able to toss it off at the wreckage? or will you have to have one of these little MPUV tractors? Because we were in a Polaris the other day. One of my buddies exploded taking off. His debris was in the hangar, and we couldn't land other ships. And we couldn't throw it out with the MaxTac two-handed tractor beams. So we were like, dang, it would be so nice if there were tractor beams that could toss it. So hopefully these will toss it, because there's supposed to be one on one of these sides. Whew, man, I'm talking a lot. So, beautiful Liberators all over. Now, I don't plan on ever having this many, but I'm probably going to have one. More Liberators. Look at them in combat. Wow. Now, honestly, these are deterrents. The main things that are going to fight away pirates or other fighters is the ships you bring aboard. So I just want everyone to be aware of that. Another cool image. And this, I was wondering how the cargo would work. So these are cargo side panels, where you're going to be able to store cargo and or other vehicles. Here you're going to have ground vehicles, and then you could store more cargo on the sides. And potentially you could take even more cargo, which is crazy. Maybe we're getting up to ironclad levels of cargo here, but it wouldn't grav lock down to the cargo grid. But you could maybe take more cargo instead of ground vehicles. We will see how that happens. Maybe it'll blow up our ship, maybe it'll weigh too much, or maybe it'll work. And that is the media pictures. Now, real quick, it's got a medium radar, medium computer, large power plant, 2 large coolers. This is what I love, 2 large shield generators. That's like as much as the TAC, the Starlancer TAC has, which is impressive. Maybe the old Redeemer might have had these kinds of shields, and that thing was invincible. Fuel intakes, 2 large fuel intakes. Excuse me, 2 large fuel tanks, large quantum drive, large jump module, 2 large quantum fuel tanks. Now that is huge. This thing is for transporting vehicles. The more quantum fuel, the better. Main thrusters, maneuvering thrusters to be determined. I bet these will be good, because you're going to have a lot of weight on the ship. You're going to need those. Now it's still going to fly like a brick, and that's fine. Turrets, you got your 2 size 5 manned, and you have your 2 size 2 PDCs, top and bottom. Those are going to keep you safe from missiles, torpedoes, and light fighter craft. We've seen how strong the PDCs are right now on live with the Polaris, with the 890 jump, with the Idris. We'll see if they get nerfed, but they're good now, so I'm going to plan for that. I didn't even know this. It has 4 racks of 4 missiles. I don't know how many missiles that is. Missile mod. Anyways, a lot of missiles. And then, of course, we got 2 tractor beams. Or that's a size 2 tractor beam. And I believe that that'll be on top. It would be great if we got one in the cargo bay as well. And yeah, let's go to some specifications. It's a light carrier. Anvil continues its tradition of excellence with the Liberator, an open-aired vehicle carrier that applies the tradition of long-range transport to a smaller scale, designed with the same quantum drive and long-distance capabilities of military spec carriers and Pathfinders, but tailored to the civilian market. The Liberator puts your fleet, not your feet, on the front lines of any operation. I'd rather have my fleet there than my feet. It's a length of 119 meters, cargo capacity of 400, potentially more, STM speed 115, beam height, whatever, large size, so it'll be on a large hangar, minimum crew 1, max crew 2, love it, it's fantastic. This is the price right now. I'm sure that will go up. I already think it's kind of high, but I think it'll go up. And let's talk about the Q&A. So this is from 3 to 4 years ago. Things are definitely subject to change. So, first question, what sort of capabilities will this ship have for refueling, repairing, and rearming the ships and vehicles it carries? Because you might see there are some fuel tanks that were on the side. Let's see here. Right here, fuel tank, I believe. So, the Liberator will only support basic levels of refueling, repairing, and rearming, which will be done manually by players on board using supplies stored in the cargo bay. It does not have dedicated facilities or separate stores. And I believe this will pull from your cargo area. So you could carry some extra on there, or If they take this away or it's not very great, if you can get the Vulcan on there, problem solved. Are the ships on the deck shielded by the Liberator size 3s with the new SFD shield tech? They are not explicitly protected. However, I think it's going to protect them a little bit, as long as they aren't tall enough, like the Freelancer, the Cuddies, or some of those taller ships. However, the shield projects multiple meters from the ship's hull, so most ships would likely be partially covered, but not entirely. I think they're going to be mostly entirely covered, but we'll see. You could always leave them on with their shields on, unless that drains battery. The same applies to the Kraken and any other ships where vehicles are stored on next tier. I just feel like you have to have the shields protecting these, otherwise you're going to be transporting people's vehicles, and they're going to get destroyed after a little bit of fire. And your ship will be fine, and theirs won't, and that sucks. What is, like, I don't know. When I take a cargo ship, I want my stuff protected. I don't do external cargo, and hopefully the shield's covered. Because how else are we supposed to transport? Get an ironclad fit less inside? Maybe that's the answer. What is the largest ship that could be parked in each of the garages, the upper landing pads, and the front landing pads? The garages and front landing pads can store ground vehicles up to and including the Turnbull Nova and Anvil Ballista, which I showed, and what we refer to as internally as XXS ships, which include the Argo MPUV and Origin 85X. I would argue other snubs and like the Pisces and stuff like that, maybe you could even get light fighters inside. The upper pads support XS ships, which include most single-seat combat ships, Saber, Anvil, Hornet, Arrow, and other single-player ships such as the Misk Prospector, Misk Fortune, whatever the hell it's going to be. So, can the Liberator transport one big ship on both its upper decks, providing the latter can touch down with all of its landing gear? This is what I was hoping for earlier. We're about to find out. Maybe this will change. Maybe it's officially. Oh, maybe it is officially. This won't be supported, as large ships won't be able to spawn there. Spawn there? Interesting. Are we spawning ships on top? Or are we letting them land, or tractor beaming them on top? But what players do after the initial spawn is up to them. So while they can surely Tetris larger ships onto the landing pad, it will likely not be supported as an official method of landing. We'll see about that, CIG. We do a lot on official stuff. Here's a cool combat photo. People are saying it won't be here doing this. You'll take a Valken and a C2, M2. I think it can. Why not? What's the Liberator's armor like in comparison to other military ships of its size? The Liberator packs medium to heavy armor. That sounds big. To offset its relatively sparse weaponry and to allow it to take a beating while transporting vehicles. Okay, good. Now I hope the vehicles are safe. Does the 400 SCU cargo capacity refer only to the internal cargo bays next to the garages? Is there any limitation that prevents additional cargo from being ferried into the garages or onto the landing pads? I'm assuming only the 400 SCU dedicated area gets mag plates. The 400 SCU refers only to the internal cargo bays, which are the secured areas for cargo. As above, what happens outside of that is up to the players, though it may not be officially supported via the full range of systems in the game, such as not being mag secured. So, you could put cargo in there, but it's risky because it's not mag secured, but you can do it most likely. So extra cargo is great because you're not always going to be taking ground vehicles around in there. So what's the primary difference between this and the M2? The big difference is that the M2 is not designed specifically to carry spaceships, let alone multiple spaceships, which is the Liberator's key role. I'll read that again. Let alone multiple spaceships being carried, which is the Liberator's key role. Awesome. Okay. Will there be any considerations to remove the spawning ship requirement when loading your own fleet? For example, when we spawn the third vehicle, the first vehicle we spawned will despawn. Ultimately, yes, the current limitations are there is a temporary measure. Interesting. Oh, I thought we were done with the questions. Oh my god. Are there any ways to lock down ships on the upper landing pads to prevent them from taking off? Let's say someone wants to escape. On the same topic, is there a way to forcibly detach a ship if it is an unwanted visitor? We don't know. We don't have any of the specific details to discuss regarding the topic of security and potential griefing and how it interacts with the ship and other similar ones. But both the scenarios listed here are areas we are discussing internally, particularly how we wish to deal with them using the current and planned range of mechanics. I think someone's on there, they aren't supposed to be, they aren't paying. You're going to blast them, get their shields down, and you're going to throw them off the tractor beam. Maybe even mid-quantum. Yeah, we will see about that. Sorry, excuse me. The Liberator is described as having extreme range, but how does its endurance compare to other carriers like the Kraken and Idris? Kraken and Idris are probably going to jump farther, but they're bigger and more expensive. The Liberator has extreme range by virtue of the capacity of its hydrogen quantum tanks compared to other ships of its size class. However, the Kraken and Idris, however, double size, as such, will have even greater range. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Can vehicles be driven up the ramp bay door and secured on the upper deck in place of fighters? Well, why not just tractor beam them up there? This is possible, though not advised, as if the ramp door becomes damaged, it will no longer operate, putting it out of commission. You must then only load and unload from the rear ramp until it's repaired. Makes sense. I mean, you could just tractor beam them up, or you could take the risk, drive them up, and only use the back bay, the back cargo door. For anyone who doesn't know, there's a back cargo door and there's a front cargo door to store to store on the extra smaller pad up front, or to drive them up top. Okay, what are the two cylinders on the lateral side of each engine? They have no function and are just the rule of cool bits of geometry. Oh, I thought those were extra fuel tanks. I would love it if they're extra fuel tanks. I don't know if you guys have seen the Freelancer Dur. It has tanks on the side that are just really cool. That's cool, but that's stupid. Why not have them be extra fuel tanks? Come on. Okay, so will the ship be able to traverse jump points with ships on deck? Yeah, duh, obviously. Okay. Is the Liberator a capital ship? No, it is not a capital ship. It doesn't have the components. Okay. Where is the tractor beam mounted, and can it be used to pull a immobile ship onto the deck and then transport it off? The tractor beam is mounted in a deployable compartment in the passenger side under the remote upper turret. This allows it to have range over the external pads to aid with the landing and removal of ships. Okay. Now, since then, tractor beams have come out, and you can't tractor beam things with shields on. But he said the manned turret passenger side, so the tractor beam will be here, not here. Okay, cool. And last but not least, does the Liberator offer any facilities to house the crew of the transported ships or vehicles? The crew of the transported vehicles have access to their own dedicated areas of the ship, complete with food, service lockers, storage, bathrooms, and seating areas. There's also jump seats, and I had a really good photo earlier of the internals. Give me 1 second for anyone who hasn't seen it. I know a lot of people haven't been talking about the ship for a while. God, the ship's beautiful, guys. Come on, like, look at that. Seen these photos. Long range, yep. Cargo capacity, yep. Weaponry, yeah, kinda. Where was it? Aha, here. So for anyone wondering how the ship's layout is going to be, this is the quote-unquote first floor. You've got your cargo bay. You've got medium battery, whatever, turret, life support. It's all here. Little hallway, crew quarters, and bridge. I think this is where you're gonna fly it from. I think the turret gunner is gonna be here as well. Now I'm curious. There's another crew quarter and bridge on the other side. Now I wonder if it can be flown from both, and if you can lock these doors, etc. So we got the vehicle bay. There's a landing pad access door here, which takes you in. There's armory access over here. Oh, whoa. One sec. Go back. All right. We got a bathroom. We got 8 suit lockers, 16 jump seats. So if you have people up top and they're waiting, they can hang out on a jump seat. Or maybe they can hang out on their ship. I don't know. Landing pad access. So this is the door that goes directly out. We have a lift that takes you up there. We got another battery, and we have suit lockers. Cool. Does this have 8 and 8 suit lockers? That's a lot of suit lockers. Okay. So you could drop off a crew at Jump Town or a landing zone if needed. Now, I'd rather take a Starlancer TAC out, but this could have a lot of vehicles where you can unload those people. So now we're looking up top. Let's start left side. We got surface access. This will take you up here to your ships. Cargo access, which will take you down. This is the lift. Now, this is cool. I love this. This is engineering. This is cool. Look at that big thing in the center. Got all your components around. Fan-freaking-tastic. This is space game. This is really cool. Amazing. What concerns me about this is you have most of your components right here. So if people are focusing your large shield generator, right? They're in precision mode. Maybe they're not the best shot. They're a little shaky. They're a little aged boomer. Oh no, they took out your jump drive and they took out your cooler and now they took out your other generator and this one and all that, blah, 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 blah. Problematic. Or if you have a pirate saboteur on board that you're quote unquote transporting, they hop in here, they blast your components, they overwhelm your engineer, which could be your other turret gunner, maybe a third guy, and problems begin. Then it becomes like a space horror movie. Okay, anyways, lift, battery docking, blah, blah, blah. We covered all that. Cool. And yeah, it's a cool ship. I'm very excited for it. Cockpit, missiles. I'm surprised it has missiles, to be honest. Docking collar, that's on the left side. It's always good to have one of those. Beautiful big engines. Vehicle bay, look at that. Fantastic. Mainly operated twin size 5 repeaters for self-defense. Landing pads, 2 up top. You also have a little pad right here. Cargo hold 400 SCU, potentially more. And you got those PDC automated turrets. And I think that pretty much sums it up. I think this is going to be a fantastic ship for Pyro. Oh, you know what's interesting? There's no cockpit glass over here. They removed it. You saw that in the concept images. It's gone. Anyways, that is the Anvil Liberator. Beautiful, great ship coming to you soon. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe below. And definitely comment if you think that the fleet could be a little bit different. I thought this was going to be like a 12-minute video. It's 30 minutes. Sorry about that. If you guys like this video, I'll do more. Later. Vio out.